In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 hidden signs your ex misses you. But first, my name is Clay with ModernLove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, do me a favor by giving this video a thumbs up, and at least think about subscribing to this channel down below if you are new here. Also, I want to let you know that we do have our new course called Connect and Commit. It is basically there to help you to bridge the communication gap between you and your ex so that you can have a better emotional connection, a stronger emotional bond, and where that takes the two of you, who knows? It might just take the two of you down the road towards getting back together. It helps you specifically with 7 specific situations. You can learn what those situations are down in the link in the description box over to the course. If it seems like it's a good fit for you, go ahead and sign up. If not, no worries. Not going to hard sell you on it. Also, I did want to let you know that, yes, I have a haircut now. I finally got those clippers that I ordered in the mail. And I was going to cut my own hair, but my wife, she wanted to do it for me. She has this secret dream of pretending to be a hairstylist. So we did that over the weekend, and now I have this haircut, which is great because now I don't have to get too shaggy and out of control while working at home here. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the bulk of this video. So the first hidden sign your ex misses you is if they rebound into a new relationship that is either very, very similar to the one that they had with you, or, very different to the one that they had with you. Now, if it's very similar to the one that they had with you, they're obviously trying to recreate kind of the same relationship and the same dynamic that they had with you, but with someone else. It's a really strange phenomenon, but it's basically called displacement. And what they're doing is they're trying to displace certain aspects of the relationship that they had with you into a new relationship with someone else. So the relationship that they had with you didn't work out for whatever reason, and now they are moving a lot of those emotions, moving a lot of the feeling, the dynamic, the vibe, and all that stuff over into a relationship with someone else. And if that person is very similar to you, it's pretty clear, okay, this is basically a recreation of the same relationship. They're basically trying to seek out something very similar to what we had, and so obviously that's a sign that they miss you. But if it's someone very, very, very different from you, then that just shows that they potentially do miss you, but they're trying to avoid having to confront those specific qualities that made you you, and they're trying to avoid them and try to go into something that's the exact polar opposite. Okay, so that's the first sign that your ex misses you. The second hidden sign that your ex misses you is if, they look back positively on the times that the two of you spent together, or the chapters of their life that the two of you spent together, and they see this sort of period of their life positively, but they're not necessarily pinning it to the relationship that they had with you. Now, obviously, the relationship that they had with you was probably a significant aspect of that period of time. But if they're looking back at a certain time or a certain chapter or a certain era of their life that they happen to spend with you, and they're looking back on it positively, then that just shows you that they valued their life in that point in time. And even though they're not directly saying that they value the relationship with you back then, it shows that they do miss parts of that time, and we can kind of elaborate and say, okay, if we spill that over a little bit, they probably also value the relationship that they had with you, and that they probably also miss you to a certain degree. The third hidden sign that your ex misses you is if they call you or text you, and then they just sort of vanish, right? I think many people have had this experience before. I know that I've had this experience before, not necessarily with an ex, but really more with just, the dating world, where someone will call me, maybe in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping or something, or text me or something like that. And then the next day I try to get a hold of them. I see that I missed a call or something. I try to get a hold of them, and I'm just unable to do so. It's a little bit frustrating, and it makes you wonder, what was that person thinking? What do they want to talk about? Is there any way we can still kind of go down that road and explore whatever it was that inspired them to pick up the phone and message me or call me when I was not able to be there and respond to it. But what this shows is that at least in that moment, your ex missed you and they wanted to connect with you. They wanted to bond with you. They wanted to feel close to you so that the two of you could potentially connect. Now, sure, there could be a whole cocktail of emotions that kept them from wanting to follow through on that later on once you got the message and were able to respond to them and all of that. But still, in that moment, they probably missed you. Emotionally speaking, what can sometimes happen in this, or what can at least lead to this sort of dynamic, is what we call riding the dragon, where you get a lot of these hot and cold behaviors. And this could be like a very small hot and cold type behavior where they are, at least at a certain point in time, very warm and open to talking to you. That's why they contacted you. But then they pull back and you get the cold side of that action where they don't want to respond to you. They don't follow up with that conversation and so on and so forth. It can be really frustrating for a lot of people. Trust me, I've been there myself. But that's kind of what's going on. By the way, if you have not seen our series on the 5 stages your ex goes through in getting back together, this will explain a lot of this information. So if you want to check that out, you can check it out up there in a video playlist. It covers 5 stages. One of those is riding the dragon, which explains a lot of this hot and cold behavior. So check that out if this is new, if you're new to my channel, if you're new to me, and if you want to learn more about all this stuff. A lot of people say that's really insightful for them, so maybe you'll find it valuable too. The 4th hidden sign your ex misses you is, if they talk badly about your time together, even though you know that they enjoyed it when the two of you are actually living through that time and having those experiences. And you also know, or at least believe, that they are in a worse place in their life right now based off of their values and what's important to them. Now, this can be a little bit confusing. Why, if they enjoyed the time so much, why would they suddenly talk badly about it? And how does that mean that they miss me? Well, okay, hear me out here. What this means is that they are trying to convince themselves that they made the right choice by leaving you, by breaking up with you. And so what happens is they need to kind of see you or see the time that they spent together with you in a negative light so that they can believe that they made the right choice in life. We all want to believe that we made the right choices in life. Nobody wants to think, oh, I made the wrong choice. I chose poorly, as the Knight of the Templar says in Indiana Jones. In The Last Crusade. We want to believe that we chose wisely. And so we often have to kind of twist and rewrite history in our mind in order to make it seem as if we made the right choices. And your ex may believe that they need to, at least unconsciously, they're not necessarily doing this consciously. They might be, but they're not necessarily doing that. But your ex may start to twist, distort, delete certain aspects of your time together, exaggerate the negative side, downplay the positive sides in order to convince themselves that, your relationship was not so great and that they made the right choice by breaking up, even if you know in the moment that you were having that experience together, that it was a good experience and they were enjoying it. Okay, that can be a sign that they miss you because they can look back fondly on it psychologically. It's kind of, going on under the conscious awareness, but they're looking back on it. They are obviously enjoying it, and that makes them feel bad, so they feel like they need to kind of twist history a little bit in order to justify why they broke up with you, why they're not in a relationship right now. Okay, so that's how that all kind of fits together. A little bit confusing, so you might want to rewatch this part of the video if that went over your head or if you were maybe doing something else in the background. But that is sign number 4. And sign number 5 is if they won't let themselves get too close to you emotionally. Now, oftentimes people's exes, they feel comfortable engaging at a certain level of intimacy. It can be different for each person, but there's usually sort of a surface level of intimacy that they allow themselves to engage with you at. Now, when we try to get them to engage at a deeper level, sometimes that can cause them to put the brakes on, to step back, to pull back, and to hesitate. Now, why is this? There could be a lot of different reasons for it, but one of the potential reasons is that they just don't feel comfortable opening up in that way. They don't feel comfortable being open and honest and transparent in that way because they're afraid that it's going to cause them to feel or experience certain things that are beyond their level of emotional okayness, if you know what I mean. That is to say, if they let themselves get too close to you, they might start to feel a little bit too attracted to you. They might start to feel a little bit too romantically interested in you. They might start to have to confront difficult emotions that they might be feeling, such as the fact that maybe they miss you, or the fact that they still have strong feelings for you, or any sorts of things like this. So they put up this sort of wall that stops them from actually getting too close to you. And this can show up in all sorts of different ways. They might hold themselves back on calling you, but they might feel okay texting you. They might hold themselves back on talking about certain subjects or certain topics. They might talk to you about certain sorts of things on a surface level, but feel uncomfortable talking about things on a deeper emotional level, or probably all sorts of other different manifestations of that as well too. But those are just some things to think about, and just some ways that could potentially show up. So anyway, I hope this video has helped you out. Once again, if you want to learn more about Connect and Commit, you can find info about that down in the description box below this video. Again, it helps you with 7 specific situations. If those 7 situations apply to you, might be a good fit for you. If not, probably not the best fit for you. But, again, I'm not going to hard sell you on it right here. But if you're curious, check it out below. Anyway, also, thanks so much again for all the kind words you've said recently. I've gotten a lot of great emails from people that have just been so nice and warm and understanding. I wish I could read some of them to you here, but they also include some not so nice things about some other coaches, and I feel kind of weird talking about that because, I know many of these other coaches. But anyway, thanks so much. Hit that thumbs up button if you like what we're doing here. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. And if you want to learn more about some signs that your ex still likes you or wants you back, you might want to check out this video over here. Otherwise, you might want to check out this video up here. But thank you so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.